Good evening, viewers and listeners. We are live and welcome to the Seven City Shop Talk Sports Show, broadcasting to you from the beautiful state of Virginia to everyone all over the world. I'm your host, Big Law Lawrence Johnson, and we want to thank you for joining us in another episode of our brand of dysfunctional camaraderie. And as of now, this shop is open. And it looks like it may be a solo show for me today. So I tell you, there's a lot of things that we still have to cover, even though that's the case. Now let's kind of jump into some things now that the shop is open. Of course, a lot of news has been going on, with the University of Virginia sports programs, and it's not the positive kind that we're used to, especially for this time of year. Um, Needless to say, we had a little bit of a spark, during the football season, uh, and kind of dwindled and drizzled. Everything kind of uh, fell out at the end there, and we didn't hit the goal. They didn't hit the goal of what they wanted to get to. Um, so football, was a little bit of was a disappointment. But then of course with the players transferring, uh, and then of course coming into basketball season, we're hoping, for some good things for the basketball season, to kind of rebound, and we get hit, with another gut punch. Being a Virginia sports follower, and somewhat of an enthusiast, as we all are, and Tony Bennett retires on us. And doesn't, and it's the worst kind of retirement, meaning he lost his love, he lost his heart for it. He's disappointed. He feels like it's a it's not at a place where he feels comfortable enough to continue to do the job and to guide young folks, which is an awful thing. That they're losing a man, a coach, mentor, instructor of this caliber. But for Virginia to lose that guy, at that most important position, head basketball coach, for him to be, he was the face of, now some of the other older the older guard coaches that had retired, the Jim Boeheims, the Roy Williamses, and those guys, who had kind of carried the torch for the ACC, and Tony became the face. And for all of those guys to leave and then to lose Tony, was a big deal. So we got some things to talk about, getting into some things. So right off the bat, man, we got the University of Virginia football portal. We're going to talk about some updates, some things that we're all happy about, I would like to think, because last show, these were things that we were banging the table for, saying that we need these type of players now. Looks like they went out and did a good damn job of trying to fill some holes and fill some spots on the roster. So we'll talk about those updates from what I found. Also, we'll talk about the same conversation with Tony Bennett. Him leaving. Is Virginia in a worse spot than they were before he left and made his decision to go? So that's a hard conversation, but we still got to have them. We still got to have those kind of conversations. Then we'll talk about. Also, Tony's going to be honored as well on the 8th of February. I'll be there, and I'm pretty sure most of it'll probably be the most people will probably be in the JPJ wanting to pay their respects to Tony Bennett at that time. And then also another question, about basketball. And I was talking about the ladies basketball team. Is the women's basketball team all of a sudden topsy-turvy in a better position than the men's basketball program? You would have never thought we'd have said that in 100 years. But are the women in a better position? Could that be, with big donors, or big donor, on the spot, and the advent of young players that are difference makers? They seem to have, up and coming coach. There's a lot of things I like about the women's program, and where they're going. So, there's that question there. Is the women's basketball team in a better position? And also, just for those out there who are want to talk about a little bit of the NFL, I want to comment in. Everybody in the chat, you guys want to send some of your comments in, please do. We'll talk about it, and I'll bring it up as well and mention you and give you a shout out. But that NFL, the biggest, largest sport, in the United States, and are you happy? Number one, are you happy with the NFL? If not, what are some things you have some questions about it, or some things you're upset about? But uh, this Jaden Daniels guy, I wanted to haven't talked about him hardly at all this season. But it's hard to maintain or to contain the some of the excitement that you see week in and week out from this young man. But before we keep going here, I gotta do some quick housekeeping, everyone. So just sit tight with me. Well, yeah, if you have some comments, put some of your comments into the comment section, and we will get to you. But if you guys give me 1 second, and we'll get this show started. Just quickly handling some things as I do on my phone here. So everyone, how are you dealing with the snow? Before we get into the rest of the sports topics, how are you dealing with the snow right now? How did you deal with the snow? Down here in Hampton Roads, we didn't get as much as they said we were going to get. They said that we were going to get 6 inches, 5.5 to 6 inches. We did not get that amount. Also, looks like there's more snow coming. That's one thing that I do not envy. Living in Central Virginia, living in the mountains, you guys, whenever you get snow, you get real snow, and typically way more for those who are closer to the beach or to the coast. The temperature tends to be a little warmer, the more you're closer to the, or closer to the sea level. You guys are in the mountains and the elevations, and it gets nice and cold up there. And sometimes you don't get the opportunity, the snow doesn't get an opportunity to melt. So for those who always are dealing with the snow, let me know how you guys get through some of that. I had to take a trip up to Northern Virginia myself during that time for work, and the snow up there, of course, it's all over the all over the roads. It's plowed to the left and to the right of the roads, and I just kind of felt like, I was ecstatic that I didn't get that much snow that really crippled our area. I got some comments in the box here. Peggy Moore, thank you for tuning in. Peggy saying, still supporting you guys, but feel a change will be a must. Oh, let's talk about that, Peggy. Bring that in. Type me a little bit more. You said that a change. What kind of change? There's a lot of change that's possibly going to happen. And remember, last week I said we could have 4 changes in the 4 most important positions when it comes to sports, and even on the grounds. You're talking the president, may have an issue, with the medical, the hospital. Then you may have Carla, may not be here. Her contract runs out this spring or late or early summer. Then you got Coach Bennett not being there, but Coach Sanchez, will he be there? And he's there's something going on, where, if he continues on his path, will he be able to maintain and stay here? The path that they're on, it just does not look good. We are spoiled, I will say that. And then, of course, Coach Elliott, which seems like if you would have said a year ago, Coach Elliott would probably be the most stable in his position out of those 4 important persons on the grounds, you would have said, no, it's probably reversed. But, who would be here a year after 2025? And if Coach Elliott can pull off a bowl season, this season coming up, he may be here the following year. Remember, they still owe him 3 years or 2 years after this year, So looks like I got Ed on the line here coming in, one of my co-hosts here. What's going on, Ed? Thank you for tuning in. What's going on, man?
Where is everybody?
We are everybody. I am everybody right now. We may have some others jump in. Of course, everybody, this is Ed Thompson, our resident writer here at 7 City Shoptalk Sports.
The children, huh?
Yeah, how are you feeling, Ed?
I'm doing all right, man. I think I am. I don't know.
Well,
It's kind of a day-to-day thing anymore, but yeah.
yeah. Well, good to have you in, man. So, just talking about some of the topics on the marquee, and we can just jump right into it at this point. With the first segment here. First segment, I'm gonna just ask right out. The UVA football portal updates and the conversation about what's going on with the team. So, um, last week, right? It was last week, right? We were having this
Yeah.
conversation about what they need to do, what Coach Elliott and his staff need to do for this roster based off of all the players they lost, all of the issues that have been going on as far as trying to accumulate talent, keep talent, lose talent, the talent war. Um, I'm going to have to say, based off of a lot of the recruiting recruiting portal rankings, UVA has a top 25 portal ranking by a lot of services. I am impressed. I'm gonna have to say that I am impressed with what the staff has done. Now, viewers and listeners out there, please give us your comments. Let's talk about it because this was a big thing. People were saying, "Oh man, he's getting some athletes, getting some talent, on the outsides." But we need linemen, we need big boys, we need
Yeah.
hog mollies. We need
It's
those
some road
guys.
graders. Yeah.
Yeah, road graders, some pass blockers. We don't need any more turnstiles. And it's kind of like they went out and they got 4 starters caliber, and some of those guys are all conference and have a lot of snaps under their belt, which is
I like
something.
it. I like the look of a couple of the guards. That just I really think the guards are the heart and center of a good offensive line. You can, if you have I always like guards with a little bit of an attitude.
Hey, Aunt V, how you doing? That's my aunt right there.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for supporting Aunt Vanessa. But yeah, man. Yeah, the guards. I mean, the tackle. I mean, Monroe. Monroe. Is it Mills Monroe? Monroe Mills. Yeah, I was excited to see him. He was one of the highest ranked tackles.
What's his name?
Monroe Mills. Yeah, Monroe Mills.
Oh, Monroe. Monroe's his first name. Okay.
Yeah, Monroe Mills. He was a 4-star in the portal, and he was a one that everybody really was going after. He played at Texas Tech, played at Louisville, and was an honorable mention All ACC. And had a lot, like I said, a lot of snaps under his belt. So right there, boom, plug and play. You got a tackle with a lot of snaps, played at a all-star caliber level. I don't know if we ever had that in a long time on the outside at tackle. That's what we need.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Then we talk about, we'll just continue down the path of the linemen. Then we're talking about, give me 1 second. I just had it up. Everybody just be cool with it.
It figures.
Transfers. Yeah. Just gotta get my transfers in here. Yeah, so we had my man Appleby in the building. What's up, App? What's up, man? He said, I'm just here so I don't get fined. I got you, man. I'm with you, bro. That's
we're still working out that collection process.
That was beast mode on Super Bowl weekend. He said, I'm here just so I don't get fined. I'm with you, man. Kevin was that Widgington, inside lineman from Illinois. Another monster, 6'5", 290. Looks like he may be an athletic kind of a lineman on the interior. Also, we got the center, Brady Wilson from UAB. Now, just because you hear the school UAB, don't think that this kid's not an all-star caliber. He hasn't given up a sack. Yeah, he can play. He hadn't given up a sack in 3 years.
I watched a couple of their games. Those guys can play.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
Take politely at your own peril.
Well, it's like this. We talk about Florida schools, right? A lot of the schools in Florida, whether, not talking about the big 3, Florida State, Florida, Miami. I'm talking, they still got schools that have a ton of talent. Central Florida.
Yeah.
Even West Florida, the one on the Gulf Coast. There's a lot of schools that still have a lot of talent. FAMU, that play in the state of Florida. Same thing for Alabama.
Yeah.
UAB, Auburn. Now, you talk about the big schools, but there's some of the other schools that are some of the mid majors, if you want to call them FBS schools, are still absolutely full of talent. A lot of those kids spill over from the big schools and still have the capability to be stars. Now they may take the difference is this: those kids that are spillovers that don't necessarily make the big schools team like Alabama, and they spill over to another in-state school, they may need another year or two to develop. And they may go to a smaller school in state, and then once they're kind of developed, they a red shirt a year, sit a year, and then be ready to play. And you kind of get that anyway, in some of the bigger schools. But the kids that do that are typically higher ranked. But some of those kids, like I said, that spill out and go to some of the other schools in state are still super talented, and maybe they need a nutrition program. They need to put on a few pounds. Maybe they need to, give them a little time to develop.
You just hear it from another voice. It's. I mean, I've seen it, 1,000 times. You can say the same thing to a kid, but if somebody else says the exact same thing, for some reason it clicks. Either they've heard it for the 1,000th time and it finally sunk in, or they believed them and didn't want to believe you.
That's right.
That's why teaching is as much an art as it is anything.
That's right. And then also Tyshawn Wyatt, the other very talented big man, interior lineman, 6'4", 295, another mover, big boy lineman, interior. So they got two tackle types, three interior types, a center, two guards, and a tackle. And remember, they still have Mikhail Boley on the left side, which he may scoot over to the right if you're going to have a guy like Monroe Mills man that left side. And next thing you know, you're looking at a super solid offensive line. If you want to implement the new guys that have come in, and then some of the guys that have already been there. And there was a couple guys who didn't even play because they were out. They got injured, I believe, before the season in the spring, and they've been out the whole year.
Yeah. There were 2 or 3 guys that were out before week 3. So
right, and they would have been vying.
I think it was one of the transfers, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And they were vying for playing time. So that's at least 10, 11 bodies right there. That's right. Which is what you need. So they'll be ready for spring. Not to mention some of the stragglers who are going to come in and try to earn some spots as well. So you guys we got to clap it up, for Coach Elliott. For giving us, golf clap. Yeah, for giving this fan base something to get, happy about or be excited about. I'm excited for the spring game because I really want to see what these linemen have to offer. Not to mention, bringing in some receiver talent. This young man, Cameron Ross, who has talent or some experience in returning. Our return game has not been the greatest, and to have somebody back who can return punts and to return kickoffs, that was his specialty. And if you remember, JMU, beat us 3 years ago, and both of those guys, I know that Tyshawn White was on that team, the team that we lost to when the storm came through, and we had to.
Yeah. That's right.
So he was on that team, and Ross may have been on that team as well. But that kid is definitely one of those super quick guys, twitchy guys. There's another host, my man Wood, young talent.
See Wood,
Chad Wood in the building. How you doing, Wood?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Thank you for tuning in, brother. Hey, man, we're good. We're good. Thank you for joining us. And we're just talking about the transfers. We're on the first segment. Give us your opinion. I was just talking about, we all had said on the last show, we want big boys. We want the hog maulers. We want bodies. And lo and behold, they went out and got some big boys, and they got starter caliber guys. all four. So it's kind of like those guys aren't coming in just to sit. These guys have either 1 year or 2 years left of eligibility, and a couple of those, or two of those guys at least, are all conference players. Give me an idea. Tell me what you think on some of this offensive line talent, which we sorely needed to come in and make a Wood went out.
Oh,
He'll pop back in. But yeah, Ed, you give me your opinion really quick. When Wood comes in, we'll get his opinion.
I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. All running backs run the same when there's no hole.
They don't.
These guys sound like they could make some holes. We'll see. The AB made a point last week that you've got these big guys, but if the talent's not going to be utilized, what good does it do us? So you have talent. So if you get talent and the talent doesn't produce, you're kind of running out of fingers to point.
Right.
It's maybe it is, God help me, the man in the mirror. That I still have a little unease with the phrase "the man in the mirror."
Right. Well, this is what
Checkmaster's swan song. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, when you have more talent, you have more options.
Yeah. Well, this is what I can say. They know. One thing that's bad about coaches, players, is not having self-awareness. I like what they have been doing and bringing in this talent. Now, some of the play calling, some of that, some people are going to be upset about that. And I guess there's still the verdicts out on how it's going to go moving into this year. Will it be the same? It may be the same type of play calling structure or system, or will they implement some more of what Coach Elliott does? Will Coach Elliott be calling some plays or be more involved day or game day, with the offense? Naturally, he's going to be involved some anyway with the game plan. Moving in with Kitchens probably help putting it together as always. But is Coach Elliott going to be a little bit more involved? This could be the year.
I would let Mike McCarthy call some of the plays as opposed to what we had last year.
Well, Mike McCarthy's not a bad offensive play caller now. Now running a whole team, that's a little bit of a different story. Well, but you know what? His players do play for him. Play for him, and he's a he's a great offensive mind.
What was that guy at LSU? Ogeron? Coach O?
Ed Ogeron.
Not the deepest thinker, but his kids loved him. His kids played for him.
Right.
There's something to be said for that. So I can't imagine somebody like Coach O at Virginia, though. That just
gosh, no way.
No, that's not going to work.
I mean, I tell you what, he's probably great with people. He probably would do great with boosters. He'd do great with being, in front of parents as well. But I don't know. You know what? I can't even call it.
I think one of the Harbaughs would work well at Virginia.
Oh God, yes, hard worker guy like Bronco. Think about Bronco. They strike me as a Bronco type kind of a coach.
I think they're Bronco with an edge.
Yeah, Bronco.
When they're
blue collar. I think any blue collar kind of a coach would do
guys. Mm-hmm. So they can blend in with the academics, but they're in your face guys, so they can blend in with the jocks. Right. I don't know if there's an extra Harbaugh brother out there or not, but might be worth a look.
That's right. So Peggy's saying, feel like we need a new OC to get excited. I feel you on some of that. I understand that. That's something that we have all kind of a lot of the viewers and listeners and fans have kind of shouted that out. Whether or not we get that is almost like how Bronco went down with his ship. Somebody asked him to change, and this is like the whole
things are pretty similar.
Right. So it seems like that's what's happening.
One guy holding the staff back.
Well, it seems like that's what's gonna happen. With Bronco. Bronco's not gonna didn't want to let his guys go, and also, Coach Elliott. That's kind of evident because he's keeping his guy in place.
I can respect that, but if you don't want to make the move that is generally agreed will hold us is holding us back, you're part of the problem too. Then it's you hate to be like that, but as we've said more than once, this is a results business. So
yeah, results-based business. Rob Gray, he says, you mean the same isolation play on first and second down, then a 3-yard pass. Sound familiar? Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. Sometimes you can see the offense humming, and maybe also you got to think about this. The quarterback played good, really good during the beginning of the year, and then he tailed off. I think he regressed mightily towards the end of the year, and his I think he just started having happy feet, and
I
seeing
can't
ghosts.
I can't blame the kid for having happy feet. I mean, he got
Yeah,
sacked
and the line
eight times,
and the line didn't help.
8 times in back-to-back weeks or something like that.
Yeah, something awful.
And
Something
and,
very
and
awful.
I'm not saying that that's all offensive line. I think a good chunk of that goes back to your offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you got to do something different. You
You
got to
can
get your quarterback
you can
comfortable.
scheme, and you can plan better. You've
Yeah.
got to beat up offensive line. The ball's got to get out quick.
Well, you also got to move the pocket. You can roll the pocket.
And there's
Just things to utilize his mobility. I mean, they did try to, some quarterback draws, quarterback runs. But with his mobility and he's short, you could roll the pocket and give
yeah
him kind of a run pass option.
yeah.
But I get it. That they didn't really want to do that. What's up, Aaron Mosier? Thank you for tuning in. One of my guys from the Salem area out there works with Salem High School. My man Wood trying to log back in, but silence his. He said, "Silence your mic." He's funny. He said, "Silence." She said, "But silence his mic." So those are some of the updates. We wanted big boys, we wanted linemen, we got linemen. Okay. So I'm excited about that. Ready for the spring game. Think about it. This is what, mid-January. Spring game goes off in April. So we got February, March, they start practicing. Then of course the game in April. So that's right around the corner. It won't be long for the spring game is here. January is pretty much be over next week. My man Aaron, dude, we have done well in the portal. Top 25 by most ranking companies, industry, portal ranking outlets, saying that we do have one of the best
Since Chad's
top
not here,
25.
I'll ask for him. How many of those kids are coming over from Elon?
Maybe one or two.
Okay.
but this is what I'll tell you. The kid that's coming over from Elon was a hellbringer at Elon. He was the defensive end. He was
it the end?
Defensive end, 6'5", 250 kid. So
I mean,
I gotta, I get it.
Listen, I've watched like I said, I've mentioned before, my daughter went to William and Mary, so I watched a lot of those guys that play in the Colonial. Yeah, they can play. I mean, there's guys all over the NFL from the CAA. So
sure.
Just because it's not 1A doesn't mean they can't play. Chad?
Aaron, he's saying we also got the QB we wanted. Yeah, they got Morris, Chandler Morris, and of course Wood. There we go. Going. Oh Lord.
Going to 5 wins
next year.
Let's no. Let's not get
Wood,
crazy.
we need you to jump in, Wood.
Keep crazy,
trying, man. Keep coming in, Wood.
Reality, Chad. Come back to reality.
Look, we'll go to our next subject, but when you jump in, we'll come back to the portal conversation for sure. Aaron's saying the wide receiver we just got for JMU. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. He's a big deal. He's a returner, and he has that quickness, that quick twitch, as they call him. He's twitched up. And we really haven't had too much of that outside of Chris Tyree, which we really couldn't. It seemed like he never got on track. And then also, we had that with Malik Washington as well when he was here.
Yeah,
looks like Wood's ready to come back in.
Hot dog. Here we go.
All right. Here we go, Wood. Let me know how you doing, man. If you're back in, you there? You got us?
Can you hear me?
There you go. We got you.
How are things out at Ice Station Crozet?
What's going on, Amy?
We're good,
That's
man.
one of our hosts there as well. Amy hitting the building. She's our resident Hokie. What's going on, Amy? But so Wood, give us your idea of this portal, man. I feel like, I know the excitement has to be somewhat curtailed, but how do you feel about these players are picking up in the portal? I know that you're on the conservative end of this stuff, but have they not? I'm not gonna say they're listening to us, but these are things that we've been asking for, and it seems like, of course, they know football way more and coach more and develop more kids than we ever have. But
not Chad.
They see, but it seems like they're getting it in my eyes. When it comes to trying to get players in. Now they have struggled with high school recruiting. They have struggled with all different types of things, based off of the conditions that they were given. But where they have done somewhat decently at is getting players through the portal. But this year, top 25 by a lot of services that we're looking at, that are looking at us, and they're saying Virginia's actually doing a hell of a job over there. Give me your opinion of that, Wood.
It's like you're waiting on me to rain on your parade, Law.
It's okay. I mean, you're Wood,
setting
man.
me up for it. It's like you expect me to rain on your parade.
No, I want you, as always.
No,
Wood,
no, you set me up. You know what I'm going to do.
You're the yang to my yang. Come on, man.
I don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, you might like some of if you do the research on some of that stuff. It's
no. I know all about it. I'm following it almost on a weekly basis, if not daily. I mean, I think they're top 24 last I checked on the transfer portal. So hats off to them. But what changed from then till now? You get that super donation, and all of a sudden you got guys coming here from Alabama. You got guys coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, JMU. That's a top program on that level. I mean, you got a lot of guys coming here that had offers from Texas. The defensive line from Alabama. You got the quarterback Morris. I mean, he had a lot of offers. Let's not.
You got Monroe Mills, big boy.
Yeah, you got that Louisville tackle. Monroe Mills. I mean, you got a lot of guys that are
Purdue
guys
receiver.
Guys in the past, we wouldn't even worry about, and we wouldn't even talk to them because we wouldn't talk to them because we don't have the money to offer them. But all of a sudden, you get this big donation. Now, all of a sudden, I'm not saying money is the sole reason that we got a lot of guys, but certainly doesn't hurt.
Well, I honestly think it is. I think that we can give the natural Virginia spiel of one of the top educations in the country, like a public Ivy. It's not not in the Ivy League, but we teach you like an Ivy League. We are an institution of such higher standards of most in the country, and then all of a sudden, now we're getting this money and we're able to putting some of this stuff out in the atmosphere, and people are hearing it and sniffing around like, what's Virginia got to give? And one thing we do have to give is time. A lot of these guys, a lot of these guys do have film, but some of these guys want more film because they want to get to the next level. So we got time. We can put players on the field. That's one of the big things. And then, of course, you can put that with some money. All of a sudden we become a little bit of more of a desirable destination. And some players, do like to come to a place where, they want to build, even though it is for a short term. Resident Amy saying picking players up in the portal is well and good, and you have to be able to play within his system. He also had to recruit better players, and we all need to they do need to gel. We shall see. It's just a different. I mean, they've done decent, and they've hit on some decent players out of the portal as well. Players that have got drafted, and there will be some other players that get drafted coming out this year as well. But like I said, see, Aaron, is what I was about to say. I said it last week. $100 million, $10 million a year, 10 times. 10 years, man. That's crazy money, man. That's to be able to to be able to put something like that out, in the atmosphere and say, hey guys, I know you want to come for the UVA education, but we can put some money in your pocket too. You saw what Carson Beck was getting. He's going to get more money than every rookie quarterback that'll be drafted. Excuse me, every rookie quarterback drafted after the first round this year. So they're like, why would he even come out? The quarterback for Georgia, who's leaving and going somewhere. Isn't it like what was his money? Wood, do you remember what his check could be? Because it was out there. The kid from Georgia.
I think it was around 10 million, if I remember right.
No.
I think it's what I read.
Yeah.
But piggybacking on what you're talking about, if you follow the timeline, we go from the recruiting-ish, huge donation. Couple months later, we're talking about Alabama recruits, Tennessee recruits, Notre Dame recruits. I mean, top of the line, they're away. They even talk to Virginia. Now they're committing to Virginia, and then you got even JMU players that had offers, say NC State, North Carolina, Virginia Tech. All of a sudden, they visit Virginia, and then 8 hours later, I'm committed to Virginia. per my agent, so-and-so, agent so-and-so. So that tells you what you need to know as far as money-wise. And I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's about time we pony up and play the game. But Amy's talking about you got to gel, and you got to gel with the coaches, and you got to pay all this shit. It's just we're taking players from Virginia Tech now, and they know how it feels now that we're actually on their playing field. So I think she knows what it feels like now. But
I heard they were going to.
I mean, this is college sports all around now. It's not just football. It's basketball. It's baseball. It's everything now. You got to pay to play. So, Amy, we're on your level now.
Hey,
Amy, Aaron, fill in what you were saying, Aaron. What you're saying about it. You said I heard he might got Miami. Explain that to me. I'm not sure what that means. My man Antonio Appleby said it's $4 million maybe for Carson Beck is what he's talking about. Maybe that's the money that he's talking about, but for the quarterback from Georgia.
Plus endorsements is about 10 million total.
Ooh, wow. She says, can they make the grades though? That now,
that's a question I never thought I would hear Amy ask.
Oh boy!
Amy's worried about grades.
If I get the professor $1 million, they're gonna make the grades.
Yeah. Well, Amy B.
Unless they major in horse shit scooper like they do in Virginia Tech.
Well, don't forget the cows. You got to muck up the cow stalls too.
Who we talking about, Aaron? He says he might. He said he might go to Miami. He's looking to transfer to Miami. I'm not sure who we're talking about. Who's transferring to Miami? Oh, Carson Beck. Okay, that's who he's talking about. The quarterback. I got you now.
I thought Amy was transferring to Miami.
Yeah. No, it hasn't
been for a while now.
You know what? But this is not anything new. I mean, let's be.
It's above board rather than below.
There you go. It's above the table instead of under the table.
Still paying these things, but now everybody knows about it.
Yeah, everybody knows about it, and the tax man is getting his cut. That's the deal. That's the deal about it. Virginia Tech 3.5 is what Amy's saying. But yeah. So right along with that, I like what I'm saying. I don't think they're done in the portal either. They got two quarterbacks. One of them, a guy who put up some real good numbers, about the same size as Anthony Colandrea, believe it or not. But kid has a live arm, son of a coach. Actually his dad was a offensive coordinator at Clemson, and wound up going and there's a connection with Coach Elliott, but his dad's still the receiver coach at North Texas. So it's good to have him on the squad, and let's see what kind of quarterback he really is come the springtime. Oh my goodness. Just drummed her up. Oh my goodness. Amy Hit is in the house. What's up, Amy? Amy just said, I just got to get on here now. I'm tired of this. Amy said, I'm tired of this.
I am extremely sick. So
Sorry, you're
The
taking
first step is admitting it, Amy.
Well,
Do
thank you for
what?
joining us.
The first step is admitting it.
Oh, I just can't. I just can't show my face. I'm all puffy. I'm on prednisone. I'm on cough syrup. I'm on antibiotic. It's ridiculous.
Well,
And
thank you
I'm
for tuning in.
someone that never gets sick.
Well,
Oh no. Well, yeah.
yes.
Well, Aaron saying he's sorry you don't feel well, but yeah, I mean this whole transfer portal thing is got everything on fire in college football. Now, have you heard that they are shortening the transfer portal window to
Yes.
10 days? I
Yes.
think that's a good thing. I you know,
Mm,
It's a definite good thing, and there needs to be some a starting point, but it needs to be after these games are done. It needs to be
yeah.
after these games are done. The same with basketball.
Mm,
I mean,
mm,
after listening to Jim Boeheim and talk about what happened with his team and what it
right.
made him feel like, and I watched him on a um, something out of New York that I subscribed to. Um, he was really extremely hurt, and I
Mm-hmm.
sort of kind of feel like Tony Bennett kind of probably feels the same way
No, he does. He said it
because
outright. He said,
yeah,
I'm like a square peg in a trying to put in a round hole." He said,
yeah,
"I'm not for this game now."
yeah.
So I feel like he said his words were something to the effect of, "I didn't feel it in my heart anymore," which is the worst way to go, because if you lose it here, forget about your head. If you don't have the heart for it anymore, you don't have the feeling that you love the sport anymore. That's the worst thing that could happen. When you lose the love for something.
Well,
Uh,
and I feel like you're going to see more of these older coaches
yeah.
that are about loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
commitment, and um we want to build something. You can't build something when every year you got 8 out of 12 new players.
Case in point, why did Bill Belichick go to North Carolina? Because it's more like a pro game now. It's like a minor league pro game where he can still coach the similar way he likes to coach, but it also is very transactional. You know what I mean? And I just
Yeah.
don't Belichick does not strike me as the fatherly building a young man type of a coach.
oh,
That's just
you
my
sure?
feel. He's more of a
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay you. Let's get the job done
The devil.
way. Yeah, I mean, but seriously,
He's the devil.
Well,
Dallas getting ready to bring him back. Don't worry about it.
Dallas bring who back?
what? Belichick is
Bill,
not going
I
to
thought you
Bill
were getting
Dallas.
Belichick.
Dion.
Really? Now I thought it was Dion just
Yeah,
yesterday.
they're getting
Dion,
Dion and trading up
Dion,
for Shador.
Dion is not going to Dallas.
You sure?
I just read it on Threads that Dion had a conversation with Jerry Jones.
He did.
Unless he can get both his kids and Hunter, he is not going there.
Well, that ain't
Because
happening.
his kids, and he said it, his kids are
Both
not
his kids and
playing.
Hunter. There's no way he can get that.
Yeah,
Well,
ain't no
I'm
way,
just
yeah.
telling you. And he's also said that his kids will not play for a team. If that team
I can't deal
drafts
with that.
them, he will
Whatever.
not. They will not play for certain
Yeah.
teams.
Okay.
He's like, I've been there. I've done that. My kids aren't going through what I went through. Now, you want to talk about a helicopter parent? There's a helicopter parent.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't agree with it either. I feel like
He needs to keep
he's
his ass.
helicoptered over them since they were peewees. He's coached them all the way up,
Yep.
all the way through high school, all the way to college. Now he's trying to do the same thing for the pros. Now, teams that have who need a quarterback in the top 5, because I think, or top 6 maybe. They're one of those 3 quarterbacks would probably go in the top 6. Would he go for one of those jobs if his kid was in play? I really don't think he's that great of a. He'll be that great of a pro quarterback, to be honest. I
I
think
don't
that
think
he has
goes.
some talent, but
I don't think he goes top 10.
I think his name. I mean, I
But he
think
should be.
Who?
The
Shador?
Raiders.
Shador.
He wants to go
Of
for the
course he goes
Raiders.
top 10. He probably goes top
Yes.
3.
No way.
I think he's a top 3 quarterback. I think he'll go top. Now, you know what's going to happen is if he does, this combine is going to be everything. In this workout period, private workout, is going to be real interesting to see what happens this off season.
I'll be
Shador
surprised if
Sanders
Shador even shows up at the combine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is he even going to practice? And if he is he just going to do his pro day at Colorado? All this stuff is going to be really interesting come this off season and getting into this NFL draft. And this is going to be very very dramatic. I think, and like I said, the first 5 quarterbacks that were taken this past year are way better than any of the quarterbacks coming out this year. So this is in my opinion, a very weak quarterback class that's coming out. So
yeah,
how many teams need quarterbacks? Really need them?
We'll have to pull the
Raiders. That's the
Shador's going top 5. He will be a top 5 pick. I will bet money on that.
He will not be there when the Raiders pick at 6.
Tennessee.
I think you might be wrong there, Ed.
I've been wrong before.
Top 5. No doubt about it. You can mark it. He's going top 5.
Well, he may go, but he's not going to play for certain teams.
You wouldn't want to put an official Frank Beamer lunchbox on that, would you?
Uh-oh.
I ain't got no Frank Beamer lunchbox.
I thought you all had one.
So Tennessee is picking number 1. I think they have to take a quarterback.
Shador Sanders.
No.
Number 2 is the Cleveland Browns.
Shador Sanders.
No.
Number 3, the Giants.
Do the Giants need a quarterback?
Sanders.
All three of those squads need a quarterback. Deshaun Watson won't make it. And then, of course, New England Patriots pick 4th. So right then and there, you could probably have three guys go 1, 2, 3, because all 3 of those teams need a young a signal caller. The thing is, they're just not.
You don't think Drake May's good enough?
No, I think Drake May's a good quarterback. He's just his organization is just a talent deficit there.
Right. And they're going to have to pick some talent, and they've got the salary cap to do it with.
And then, of course, looks like you got the Raiders at 6 and the Jets at 7. So those squads right there definitely need a quarterback. But so Shador probably won't get past number 5 or 4, unless the Raiders want to move up into that top 3 to have a shot at a quarterback.
I would say you're going to have to move up to 1 to get him, to be sure to get him.
If you want him. You got Cam Ward coming out, but it'll be interesting to see what this draft class looked like. But like I said, last draft class, the quarterbacks, all the top 5 guys, Jaden, the kid for Chicago, Bo Nix, Drake May, and the kid from the Falcons. All 5 of those guys are way better, in my opinion, than the guys that are coming out right now.
Yeah.
It's like a tier down type talent guys that are coming out. So we'll see, man. This has been a great segment. Took pretty much almost the whole show. I still got like 4 other topics, but we can just touch on some of these topics really quick. Yes.
Chad, who would you rather have? Your current incumbent quarterback or Shador Sanders?
That's a good question. What you want, Wood?
No, it's not a good question at all.
No? Well, you don't have an answer for it?
It's Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Taking Dak. Okay. Very good. So this is a question for all of you, and I want to hear your opinions on this. Did Tony Bennett leave the team in a much worse position than we all thought?
I don't think he left the team in a worse position on purpose. I think that
Mm.
I think, like you said, it it really, it has really done a number on him. Um, the Syracuse coach, the Miami coach,
They're
and
native.
I think it's done a number on on
Right.
Florida State coach, because I think he's getting ready to announce he's stepping out.
Leonard Hamilton. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they're suing him. So he's,
yeah,
he's ready to go. They,
yeah.
and I mean, maybe he did promise those guys money and he
Well,
didn't
but
pay up, but
I don't think Tony purposely left it like that. I think that he I think that he thought the guy that took his place knew his system well enough to continue. He just doesn't have the energy or the heart to deal with rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding. I don't think
it
he did
would.
that on purpose.
Let me ask you, Will, what do you think, man?
No, I mean, I think he knew what he had, but like he said, it's not the game for him anymore with NIL and agents and trying to communicate with agents and recruit players. It's not his style. He knew it was time to get out because it wasn't his style. He's not going to do that. And a lot of players just looking for money, and they'll be here today. If they get more money, they'll leave tomorrow, and that's not his type. Just like Jim Larrañaga, Villanova
Yeah.
coach. I mean, you can name him.
Jay Wright.
Krzyzewski.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Wright. I mean, it's not his game. So yeah, of course he knew that we were in a bad spot. But the only way that Sanchez would actually get the job or get a chance was for him to quit the way he did. And that's the reason he quit. He didn't quit to leave us in a bad situation. He quit to give Ron Sanchez a chance at it. And I don't know if he knew it would be this bad, but this team is bad. If you watch the games like we all
It's
do,
bad.
that team is bad. They don't have
It's the dearth of talent. I don't
yeah,
know.
they don't have talent. They don't have talent at all. And then, it's not. God knows what their record will be. But if you look at the West Coast swing they just went on, I mean, they're getting blown out. And
I don't know if
so
Tony would have been much better. Honestly,
no, exactly
No,
right. But I don't think he knew
problem.
that he was leaving us in this bad situation. He was doing it on purpose. But this is the only way that Ron Sanchez or Williford, whatever they picked, that's the only way they would get their shot. And it's playing out like it should. I mean, I don't think they'll be back. But Tony didn't sabotage the program like many people are saying.
No, I don't think sabotage is the word. I think that, well, the word that was kind of going around was Tony got out. Number one, because maybe he didn't feel it, but also because he knew that this team was not a good team. There was a deficit when it came to the talent piece. What do you think, Ed? Let's give Ed an opportunity to comment on this.
As much as it pains me, I'm forced to agree with my colleague from Crozet.
You agree again?
Listen. It's
write this down.
Just go with it. Okay.
Write it down.
I cannot envision a universe in which Tony Bennett would sabotage a program. I don't
think sabotage is the right word. Yeah, sabotage. I don't think is the right word.
That's just crazy talk.
I just think it's like
I suspect a man who knows as much about basketball as Tony Bennett probably did know that this team was going to be at the very least a challenge. If I'd be curious to know.
It's much different. I don't think it would be.
We are what we are. I would really be curious to know what this team would be like if the kid from Florida State had stayed.
Well, he gives us a point guard, but I don't know. I think
I know it's not just a point guard, but what I'm driving at is I think between Coach Bennett leaving and that kid transferring, it was like a black cloud over the program or something like that. And it's like, oh, here we go again. And so it's we're not good. And
we're not good either. But
we don't expect you to be good.
Shut up. We are winning we are winning, and they are starting to play together better.
What's
know what
your?
I'm
They probably
saying?
got a better record than Virginia, though.
I think she's feeling better.
The we had 3 players come back out of 12. 3.
Does it say more about the 3 or the 9?
Huh?
Does that say more about the 3 who stayed or the 9 who left?
Well, Poteet is one. Rick Steiner is one,
Poteet's
and the other boy, I can't remember his name, but I mean, they're all scoring really well. But there's the 5. There's like a starting 5 that he's got together with Poteet in the middle, and I haven't watched that many games, but the ones that I have watched, we have won, and it seems like they're getting better as we progress along. But again,
watch the Virginia games then.
They still don't know what they're doing. I mean, excuse me, that's not the right terminology. They're still struggling to find their identity. They have a guy who's playing point guard who probably shouldn't be handling the ball as much as he does. He, struggles, number one, to stay in front of a lot of the smaller point guards. Naturally, he's a bigger body kind of a guy. And, I don't know. It's bad. I'm not going to totally trash or badmouth the kid, but there's something else different needs to happen. I've been banging the table for Chris Bliss to come on out of hiding, and we need to see what you're about when you get on the floor. And one of my guy at Augusta Free Press was like, maybe Chris Bliss doesn't want to be out there based off of what the team is looking like, but that's the kind of player, in my opinion, I feel like, they need. And I want to see what kind of talent he is, with this team, and how could the team possibly improve with his, skill set, putting it together. But go ahead.
Let me ask this. The amount of success that basketball team had with Tony, was there not NIL money just for him to give out?
Yeah.
At UVA?
They have NIL money.
I do.
No, there's NIL money. There's NIL money everywhere. Now, whether they use it differently, which I believe they do, than some of the other sports, i.e. football, I think Tony, is even, and this is maybe just how it is more like, earn your money before we give you money kind of a thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Other schools are giving money.
And people are like, hey, just step in the building and we're going to stroke you a check. And I think maybe in us, and it's like we've kind of turned a corner from that a little bit, saying, come to the school, we'll take care of you, so to speak. Maybe we're not going to give you the most, but we got a little money in our pocket from a donor that will be able to, get you off the ground and get you some playing time. Because remember, I get it. The money, everybody's throwing money around, but the playing time, that's a big thing. When you can offer snaps to players who won't have to know, who doesn't have to go against other talented rosters. Everybody who's coming in now, those guys are going to get a lot of snaps because we still have a talent deficit. But the guys who are coming in, talk to me, Wood, aren't they better than just on the surface? A lot of them are better than the players we got. Would you agree? Based off of their experience.
No, I agree. I think most of them will be starters, on day one. So that
for basketball, have you switched back to football?
We went back to football but
I'm talking basketball. The Tony Bennett's basketball team had more success than any team in that whole school.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he not have the NIL money to be able to get players?
He didn't want the NIL money.
They do it differently.
He had the money, he had the donations, but that's not the type of game he wanted to play.
That's not the program he runs.
That's not what he wanted to do.
No, yeah, it's not pay for play. It's play, and then you'll earn your pay. They're very conservative. The Tony system, I believe, the way that he wants to do it is, commit to me. And not only that, remember, Tony wants you to commit 2 years, 3 years to his system. He's not like Tony really doesn't like, come on in this year, let me pay you some money, get you on the court. No, it takes 2-3 years to learn the pack line, to run it properly.
Yeah.
So he's more of, when you come in, you commit to me, we'll start paying you, or there'll be some things out there for you. But other than that, think about it. Guys, we didn't even really see basketball players getting money until like Reese Beekman. You saw him with like Shoe or the Good Feet, and a few other guys, but these were like their senior years. Kihei, his senior year, he got like a Good Feet store endorsement commercial, and some of these other players, you don't necessarily see them. Think about it. You don't see basketball players in commercials and like that until like later in their college career at UVA. I didn't see any guys like sophomores. And
the one exception that I can think of is Kimora Johnson has a deal with the Good Feet store now.
Girls are different. Girls are totally different. Girls are totally all the girls are our new game. Speaking of the girls, that was the next segment. How about this is a question for all of you to answer. Is the girls basketball team in a better position than the men's basketball team? Something we would have never had said in 100 years.
Yes.
Ed, you're a season ticket holder, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what do you think? Are the girls in a better position than the boys team? Got donors,
they
on
might
the
be.
court. They got a star player, all ACC player.
Let's put it this way: they're to the point where I actually have to think about it. A few, in years past, you wouldn't, you might have thought, nah. Yeah. But now you're like, I don't know.
Our girls team is better. Our girls team is better. I say that all day long. And they got a new coach and lost a lot of their players.
Well, you guys, your girls team has always been better for the past
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7, 8 years, but yeah, since you've had your coach, the coach who left and went to Kentucky, which was awful. But
Kenny left?
Yes,
what was that?
Asshole left and took Georgia.
He took 3 players.
I'm sorry. What was his name?
I have a thing about loyalty to your school.
Amy says I still haven't healed from that. Go ahead, Wood. So what do you think? You think the girls are in a better spot than the men right now? If we had to call it this moment,
I think the guards are better.
I think the whole program's in a better spot.
I'd have to say yes.
Yeah, they got donors like Serena's husband, was there and they honored him, and he dropped, a brick on him. You know what I mean? Say, hey, this is just for the women's basketball program.
Yep. But yeah, that's going to come down here in the next couple of months of who we hire. That'll tell the story. But as of right now, yeah, women, yes, it's in a better spot than the men right now. They got a long way to go, but yeah, as of right now, they're in a better spot. Yeah,
and they're and if you watch the girls, they're playing a good open. They can score. Them girls can score. They got talent. They're at least competing. I mean, Notre Dame is another story. You're talking about top 5 program in the nation as far as talent. But other than that, they compete in all their games, and they're putting up big numbers. And I'm excited about those girls. But I think they're in a better position, which is something we would never have said and thought about saying in 100 years. So yeah, the ladies program is, in my opinion, just like all of us agree on that, is in a better spot. So last segment here, NFL. The discussion of the NFL.
That's still going on?
Well, we're gonna come to my man Wood. I know Wood is passionate about his Cowboys. What's your Cowboys report, Wood? What do you got to say about your team? I know Mike McCarthy didn't get re-signed, so the coaching carousel is alive and well in Dallas. Jerry Jones is still ruling with the iron fist. Give me an opinion, Wood. What coach do you want in Dallas? Big D.
That's a tough question. Who I want and realistically who I think we will sign. Who I want? I say top 3 would be obviously Deion Sanders. I think. How's that relationship work with Jerry? About Jerry, you talk to the media. Let me handle. I think.
I don't know if that would go well, honestly.
Down the road, I need to watch that.
Hear me out. I think Bill Belichick will be the perfect hire. His buyout at North Carolina is $10 million. It's not that outrageous. Bill doesn't like talking to media. Jerry loves talking to media. Jerry, you talk to the media. Let me coach the team. Amy, I'll throw one in there for you. I think Cliff Kingsbury from Washington.
No,
I think he would do. I think he would do well as head.
He will not go there. He will not go there.
I got 10 million reasons to say you're wrong. But,
I can tell.
Well, not this year.
Not this year.
Not this year. Maybe not next. You know why? Because he's still getting paid from the Cardinals.
Yes.
He's still getting his coaching check from the Cardinals right now.
And he's had his feel of a jackass owner.
I think he'll take a job under some jackass owner. It's just I still think he's getting. I think he has 2 more years of getting his coaching money, his head coaching money that Arizona still owes him, and he's getting his money from Washington. So he's double dipping legally right now.
Yeah.
So,
but he said he wants another head coaching job.
Yeah. I say this year, maybe not. Next year. Go ahead.
He
Amy.
wants another head coaching job, but he also is committed to what's his name? Josh
Harris.
Yes, he's committed to Josh Harris.
To Jaden too. He said he doesn't want to leave this kid right now. You know,
right. He really likes Jaden.
Yeah.
I bet he likes $10 million more than Jaden.
He's getting that.
I was about to say he's getting.
He's already getting that.
He's probably getting a collective.
To do a damn thing, but be the offensive coordinator.
I guess I'm gonna have to look that up.
Oh, so y'all are saying there's no way Jerry Jones can pay him money to leave Washington? Is that what you guys are honestly saying right now?
I don't think it's happening this year, and maybe not next.
And I don't think he'd go work for Jerry Jones. You have to be a certain kind of.
I think you're wrong.
What's the Washington owner's name? Jay Harris, Josh Harris, Josh. I don't think money would be an issue.
No.
And there's a lot less chaos in Washington than there is in Dallas.
As a coordinator.
As a coordinator, yeah, you have the same amount of money and less responsibility, less.
No. You don't have the same amount of money. You'd have more money. If Jerry Jones wants him, he'll write a check and get him.
He is.
You couldn't afford Derrick Henry. I don't know if you can afford Cliff Kingsbury.
Right.
There's not a salary cap on coaches, my man.
On players. Okay.
He is not going to Dallas.
I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying that don't act like it's not a possibility.
Well, it's a possibility they might hire me, but I don't think so.
Nah, I mean, you're being unrealistic.
There's nobody that's going to work with Jerry Jones unless have a solid brass set to tell him to keep his mouth shut and out of the coaching realm.
Won't happen.
Well,
it's going to happen.
Then Dallas is not going to have any success.
Any success? We've had more success than Washington will ever imagine. What do you mean we're not going to have success?
No, you have not.
There we go.
Horseshit. You won your first playoff game in 20 years, Amy.
How many Super Bowls has Dallas won?
5.
How many
have you won? How many have you won?
Romo win?
We've won 5. How many have you won?
We've won 5.
No, you haven't. You won 3, but nice try. Thanks for playing. You won your first playoff game in 20 years the other night. But since you don't know your team, let me educate you. We've won 5.
Are you sure?
But don't act like
no. We won 3. Washington's won 3.
Yes,
but I don't know. When was the last time Dallas won a playoff game? That's
3 years ago.
Question.
3 years ago,
and that was 2 years ago. So right now, Cliff is still getting roughly until 2027. Cliff is still making $5.5 million.
So Jerry says I'll give you,
and
10
he's still
making,
and he's making
he's not
6,
do it?
and he's making 6 from Washington.
So he's making 11.5.
for doing
Yeah.
half the job, for handling half the work. So I don't think I don't know.
No, but he
I don't
said
know if
he
any
wants he
owner.
wants another head coaching job. I'm not saying he'll take the job and that's their hire, but I'm saying you guys are acting like it's out of the realm of possibility, which it
I'm not
definitely
saying it's out of
is.
the realm of possibility. I just said 2 years, which is 2027. I don't think he'll
No, I'm
leave. I
talking
don't
about
think he'll go anywhere.
this offseason right now. When Washington season is done, if Jerry comes to him and said, "I'll give you $10 to $12 million," you think he's not going to
I
think
don't think
about it?
so. I don't think
I
so.
don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Well,
I'd be
I
very
don't think he's. I
surprised.
don't think.
so
I
he's
don't
going to be a
think he's.
coordinator in Washington forever.
No.
No,
Even
no.
though he
But
said he wants a head coaching job.
but the stress of running a cowboy
Not
organization,
gonna be- You might
and
be the head
then
coach, you're not in charge.
he'll be getting somewhat the same almost amount of money just to run the offense with a young star quarterback. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make
He
sense.
wants to be a head coach. He even said that 2 weeks ago. He wants to be back
Will
in the head
be.
coaching role.
I think
He will if he
eventually.
wants to be, but I wouldn't go to Dallas. No.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that's another
saying
thing.
that you would, Ed. I'm just saying you guys are acting like it's not a possibility, which it's
Well-
100%. He's in the top 5 category of the Dallas selection. He's probably not. He's not the number 1 selection. Obviously, that's Dion. You
Right.
got Cliff Kingsbury. You got Ben Johnson. You got the defense coordinator from the Detroit. I mean, you got other guys out there, but to say like,
Offensive coordinator
oh
from
no,
Detroit.
he's huh?
Ben Johnson. You got Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator from Detroit.
No, I
Ben
said
Johnson.
I said Ben Johnson and the defense coordinator from Detroit. Both
Aaron
of them.
Glenn.
Well,
Right. Aaron Glenn.
Right. But we can't interview them until their season's over because we fucked that up. We should have fired Mike last week and we could have interviewed him, but that's neither here nor there. But to say like
Right.
it's never going to happen, like he doesn't want that, I think that's far fetched.
I don't know.
That's not what we said. I said he's not going to go anywhere for at least maybe 1 more year, maybe 2.
I
when
said
he's
2
getting
years.
when he's getting money for doing nothing, not doing a head coaching job and only doing the offensive coordinator's job, he's making double the money.
That's
And
what I
He's
why
said.
not
would
making
you
double
want
the
to?
money. I mean, he'd be making $20 million if he was making double the money. It's
He's
not true.
making $5.5 million from the Cardinals. He's making another $6 million from the Redskins.
So
That's
that's 11. So he's making double what Dallas would offer. Would put you at 20. That's not double.
I didn't. That's
I
not
don't
what
know if Dallas
said.
is going to pay
Dallas
him
offered him 20.
much more than what he's
Jags offered
making right
20.
now. I don't think Jerry's going to pay him much. I don't think Cliff Kingsbury even is worth paying that much. He's a failed head coach.
I disagree, but I'm just saying,
Right?
like, he's
I
one of
mean,
the hot young names.
He is, but he's a failed head coach as well. He's a retread from a head coach. He's just
Right.
hot right now because he has a magician at quarterback.
Right.
You know, that's
Right. No, but I'm saying you asked me the candidate, so I'm telling you
I got you.
the top 5. Kingsbury is definitely in the top 5.
I
You
think
got Ben
both.
Johnson, you got Aaron Glenn, you got Dion, but that's a different situation in itself. And
Right.
of course, you got Kellen Moore. I think Dallas will probably hire Kellen Moore, but if you're asking top 5, that's the top 5.
Do you want Kellen Moore?
No.
I wouldn't want him either.
You got John
Yeah.
Gruden also.
Would you take John? Would you like John Gruden? That'd be crazy.
No.
That'd be a crazy mix.
No.
No. that
John
would be a
Gruden and Jerry
disaster.
Jones. That's a show.
I've had John Gruden twice. No, thank you.
That is a show. Jerry Jones. Think about that.
Oh,
Jerry
I like it.
Jones and John Gruden talking on the mic
No,
at
I'm
different times.
I'm just laying out the top
There's
5
two
or 6
guys.
that floating around.
Ron Rivera, he's out there too. He's out
No.
there interviewing.
Yeah, he's
Retread.
out there.
Rex Ryan's going to the Jets.
Rex, well, he's
Perfect.
interviewing.
No, he's
yeah.
not. They
Yes,
don't
he
want him.
is.
Which called Sala. What about Sala?
No, I
I'll
don't
take
like
him as
him.
D coordinator.
There's another team also looking at him as a D coordinator as well.
Yeah, some guys are just good coordinators, and there's no shame in that. But sometimes some guys just rise to the level of their ability.
But for
Dallas dropped
you
the
gotta
ball
have-
by
you
not
gotta have
giving Dan Quinn.
You got to have somebody young in Dallas, whether you have head coaching experience or not. You got to be young. You got to be somebody that Jerry can control and be a puppet. So that narrows you down. That probably eliminates Gruden, Dion. So that probably puts
Belichick.
you in the Kellen.
And Belichick don't want that.
Belichick
he
said
hated-
he was interested. If he knew the job was open, he would have took it. He would have waited, but He obviously didn't know it was open. That $10 million buyout. I think Belichick is in play, and I think you got
That'd be crazy if he leaves Carolina.
Kingsbury, and then you got Kellen Moore. That's the three. Kingsbury, Kellen Moore, Belichick. That's the
I
top
think
three.
Belichick is trying to set his son up.
Oh no, it's in his Bible. His hire me Bible. One of the proverbs was, when I am done coaching, you will hire my son. They signed off on it to hire him. So that's in the documentation.
Yeah. I think
But
if
I had to bet, I think it's Kellen Moore. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, I think you're right too. Man, this has been a great show, guys. This has been a great show.
Holy crap!
You know, look, we got another week of basketball games. We got another week of NFL games, so we'll definitely have something to talk about. Also, UVA baseball was ranked second, so we got some stuff to talk about when it comes to baseball as well, and what that roster is going to look like. And I want to say the lacrosse team was ranked in the top 5 as well. So spring is on the way, is coming up. So
come fast enough.
Well, you know, I'm ready. Well, I'm ready for the warm weather too. But let's go ahead and have our closing monologues. Ladies first, I'm gonna come to you. Amy, what do you like to say in closing?
Go Skins. I don't think we can beat Detroit, but I pray we do. Go Hokies. And I am not rooting for Notre Dame.
Not rooting for Notre Dame. Ooh. Okay.
They don't like to share the money. I don't like to root for them.
Okay. All right. Ed, closing monologue, Ed.
Mine just went out of my head because I'm agreeing with Amy. You know, it's the rebuild has started again in Las Vegas. We've fired the coach and we fired the GM again. I think this is like the 5th or 6th GM he's had since he moved to Las Vegas.
He's paid 5 coaches, right? Four coaches.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 coaches and about the same number of GMs.
He's paying 4.
I don't think it's the GMs.
Yeah, he's gonna
Can he get Gruden back?
I don't know that I want Gruden back. Like I said, I've had him twice, and he wanted to trade up and get what's the guy who bombed out in Cleveland? Crap. Johnny
Baker?
Johnny Manziel. He wanted to give up the farm and go get Johnny Manziel, which tells me all I need to know about John Gruden's mental state. No, I don't want Gruden.
All right.
I'd love to get the guy from Detroit, but I don't think Mark Davis could pull that off.
No, I don't think so either. They're on the Super Bowl run.
There's another one.
They're in a window. They're in a window. And Chad, what's your closing monologue, brother?
Hey, Washington, I know you can't beat Detroit, so great season. I know Dallas is rebuilding, but hey, at least we're not the Raiders.
Question: is Jaden Daniel the best quarterback in the NFC East?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Who's better?
Jalen Hurts.
No.
No way.
Dak Prescott.
No way. Dak Prescott's better than Jalen.
Shit. Prescott, he can't stop from getting hurt.
I think Dak Prescott's better than Jalen. I think Jalen benefits from having the best offensive line.
Jalen is third.
I think Jalen benefits from having the best offensive line, the best receivers, the best tight end. He has the best of everything. And you've seen him lock up. I think Jalen is really the best quarterback, to be honest. I think he's doing more with less.
Jaden is
he's
third.
doing way more with less, and he's winning.
Speaking of third,
I'm not even putting the rookie into the equation. Just quarterback play. He's clutch. He's just better.
He's third.
I can't wait to see what Dallas does with their third place schedule.
You say Jaden's the third best quarterback in the division?
Jaden Daniels is third best quarterback.
Ain't no way, Wood.
Ain't no way. No way.
I don't see how you see that.
And
there's no way.
Josh Harris.
He's the best. I'm sorry, Amy. Hold on. He's the best quarterback. Wood. He's the best. He plays the quarterback position better than all the quarterbacks in the division. I'm not saying that because I follow Washington. I'm saying from the pocket, He's the best quarterback from going through his reads and his progressions, getting the ball out, making the right read, not turning the ball over. He's the best quarterback. He doesn't have the numbers he doesn't have the numbers Dak has had, but from a winning and making the right decision, ball out, knowing the offense like the back of his hand, and making plays, that kid is phenomenal. Jalen's Hurts not better than him. And like 100%. I said, he's doing
from the pocket, he's 100 times better than you.
You guys have a better offensive line than Washington has. The Cowboys have a better offensive line than Washington. So do the Eagles.
No, we don't.
You have better weapons. Yes.
The Eagles definitely have a better offensive line. Dallas does not.
I cannot wait.
I cannot wait
till we get Parsons.
No, you're not. No,
I cannot wait till we get Parsons.
When you have an All-Pro at your center's decent, your All-Pro guard, your tackle got hurt, and he's one of the best young tackles. The kid you drafted, he's good. He got hurt, but he's really good.
Tyler that was last year.
No. But the kid that I'm saying he hasn't played lately. But your offensive line, when you're healthy, you're better. Weapons wise, your tight end way better than our tight end. The CeeDee Lamb,
Zach Ertz is better than Ferguson.
No, he's not. Ferguson
Ferguson's been hurt all year.
But he's not better. Zach Ertz isn't. Now, when Zach was in his prime, he was better.
We've had Hendershot, man.
Ferguson is the second best tight end in the division.
The truth,
he's one of the most uncoverable guys in the division in the tight end position.
He's been hurt. We had Hendershot.
No, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about the roster when everybody's healthy. You're way better.
Well, that's Philadelphia. Philadelphia is way better than any of us.
Right. But you guys have way better talent than Jaden has. It's not even close. It's not even close.
No, you got Terry McLaurin.
You got CeeDee Lamb.
We have one.
That's it. They cancel each other out.
No. CeeDee Lamb is better than Terry McLaurin.
We have good.
He's going to make the Pro Bowl. He's going to make the Pro Bowl, right?
His first Pro Bowl. CeeDee Lamb is putting up. This is first Pro Bowl, man. Your guy.
So cancel those out. Who else do we have that you guys don't have?
Jake Ferguson. Brandon,
the other guy. We have Hendershot.
And your other receiver, Brandon Cooks, is better than any of our number two.
He missed 8 weeks.
But he's better.
You got Alameda Zacchaeus. He came up big.
Stop. Alameda can't even stay on the team. He
had a couple game-winning catches, didn't he? And the guy you got
that's
Dallas.
Because the quarterback made him better. That doesn't mean he's a better receiver. You have better receivers, Chad. We have one guy we can depend on.
I disagree.
We have one receiver. If in the off season we need 2 receivers, we need a tight end, and we need some freaking offensive linemen.
But this is the difference. Jalen makes those players better. That's why you're naming Alameda Zacchaeus. That's why Jalen's a better quarterback. He makes less successful guys look good.
Jaden,
excuse me.
Keep saying Jalen. You keep
Jaden. Thank you. Jaden is a much more talented in raising the talent level of players around him. That's the difference. And that's why I say he's a better quarterback. He's doing more with less. He's doing more with less.
So Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. That's what you're saying.
He is. Dak puts up a lot of good numbers, and I think and now I'm talking about Jaden being a top 12 quarterback, and I think Dak is right there as well. But I think when you're splitting the hairs, I want a guy like Jaden who, at the end of the game, is clutch. Dak ain't clutch like that. You know that. Dak isn't clutch. Dak is a good quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. But he's not clutch. Jaden has the clutch gene for sure.
Because he won one playoff game, he's clutch.
One playoff. You ain't been paying attention. No, you've been paying attention. You just denying it, Wood. Come on, bro. Because let's be honest about that.
What? Because he beat Chicago on a Hail Mary? I mean, Define clutch.
No, you're not watching.
HTTR people, I'm leaving. I see you
No,
later.
you're not watching the games. You're
Because
not
he beat
watching this kid.
Chicago on a Hail Mary? Because he's beating teams they should have blown out on the last play?
No. You still it's similar.
He's got 5 wins on the last play of the game, and 4 of them he should have blown the team out.
No, you shouldn't have blown anybody out in the NFL.
Oh, really?
Like I said,
there were 7-point favorites in every game that
he's doing. No, they're not. He's doing more.
No, they were.
Less.
That's a fact.
He's doing more.
With less.
He is. He's doing more with less. The roster is hodgepodge.
Oh, really?
We got $96 million of cap space because the guys that they're bringing in are on 1-year deals. Guys who hadn't done anything significant to earn a large contract from anywhere else. It's a mix of players.
Frankie Louvu and all the defensive linemen you spent a ton of money on from Dallas.
We didn't spend a ton of money.
We didn't spend a ton of money. The center. You did spend money in the offseason.
But it wasn't a ton. It wasn't a ton of money. It wasn't a ton of money.
You took 5 starters from Dallas.
We didn't spend a ton of money. Louvu got a 3-year contract. It was decent. It wasn't like the top of the market. It wasn't Micah's money. What Micah's going to get, all right, because he's not Micah. Because when he came in from Carolina, he was talented, but he wasn't Micah, so he didn't get what you had.
Dorrance Armstrong, you had Tyler Biadasz. You got Dorrance Armstrong. You got nobody.
He got a decent contract. Dorrance got a decent contract. We paid him more than what y'all were going to pay him. That's why he came over, and he liked Dan Quinn. He liked playing for Quinn. And then and Biadasz, kind of the same thing. You guys didn't want to deal with his injuries, and he declined. Be honest. He declined based off of where he was with you guys. We picked him up. He was an upgrade for us because we didn't have a center worth a damn. But they didn't pay him like the most money in the center market either. All those guys are on like a little better than average money. You know what I mean? They're a little better than average money. But no, think about that. We have the 3rd most cap space in the league right now. $96 million. I think it's like the Patriots, the Bengals, I think, and then us. We're not paying people a ton of money because none of those guys are superstars or haven't earned it yet. So now when they do start paying people and they do start going after some of these talented guys and they continue to build a roster from the draft, that'll be different. But you guys have established players. You got all pros on your team. We had all. This is the first time we had all pros on our roster. And
we're thin at a lot of positions too, but
you're more. You have a more talented roster. Period.
No,
I would when healthy. You have when your roster's healthy, you're way more talented than our roster.
No, I disagree.
Yeah. Michael Parsons is better than any defensive player that we could even think about on our roster.
I mean, he's a big splash player, but you got more consistent players like Frankie Louvu.
Frankie Louvu's tough. Bobby Wagner's tough.
Bobby Wagner's tough.
That's maybe the one player that I can say.
Secondary is a wash.
Oh no, my secondary is garbage. Your guy, you have actually had two. You've actually had 2 cornerbacks, even though they haven't been healthy together a lot.
Yeah, they missed season. They missed season with injuries.
But they're good though. When they're healthy,
it doesn't help you this year if they're not on the field.
No, but when they're I'm not talking about if
you can say when they're healthy, but they're not healthy, so it doesn't help you.
But that doesn't mean they're still not good players. So you're telling me because we just bigged up Dak and gave Dak all this credit. So now that Dak's injured, now Dak's not that great. When you said he's the best quarterback in the division, he is.
No, but you can't count it towards this year.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying
we have
in
2
general.
Great cornerbacks. We have Deron Bland and we have Diggs. But if they miss all year, what damn difference?
Regardless if they're injured or not, they're still good cornerbacks.
Of course they're good, but if they're not on the field, they're not going to win.
That's what I'm trying to say. They're better than what we have by far.
But your guys are on the field. Good.
That's 2 different things, Wood. Just because they're on the field doesn't mean they're a good player. Our guys get burnt like toast every game. You got guys that are ball.
You're an all-pro and you're on the bench. You're not doing anybody.
But your guys, when they're healthy, they make plays. Our guys didn't make plays.
When they're healthy, yes, that's a different conversation.
That's all. I'm not talking. I'm not. Health is not. Is not the conversation. And if that's the case, then Dak right now is not playing. So that means Dak is not good. Dak
No,
is
but
good.
if we had a healthy roster, we're the best team in it.
That's exactly. You just said it. There you go. Exactly. When you're healthy, you have the best roster.
You can't say we're the best. Y'all are better.
You are.
Or
you are. When you're healthy, you're the
lower
best.
than us when you're not.
No, you are. You have you have a really good roster of talent when you're healthy. I'm not talking about whether they're here or not on the field. Your talent is really good. You know, it's just that's why I say Jaden is doing more with less. My roster is not like your roster. You have a better roster. You have more playmakers on both sides of the ball.
But I mean, you act like Jalen has
and then your
your
kicker and your punter. You know, I know that's odd to say because a lot of people don't want to give.
That's a recipe for a losing season. You have a great kicker.
No, I'm stating a fact. You have the best kicker in the league and one of the best punters in the league. That's just fact. That's football.
Your kicker just won the game on a doink doink.
On a doink. So we're gonna hang our hat on a doink.
Gonzalez.
We're gonna
this is a song for another day. We can go on for another 2 hours. So
it's great.
We'll just cut that.
Yeah. We got to jump back in.
At least Ed has nothing to talk about. He likes the Raiders. Look at him.
I'm just enjoying this. I am curious to see what Dallas does with their third place schedule next year.
Oh, they should be really good because they got
if
we're
healthy.
All the talent
healthy, they'll
and they've got Dak.
Well, they still got Micah, and the corners will be back. They're gonna make some plays.
Will they be able to afford a running back next year?
No, they'll probably draft that boy from Boise State.
We're gonna get Gypsy from Boise State,
and that's gonna suck because they're like I said, they got a good damn roster on offense. It's just when they're all together, they'll put up a ton of points like they used to. It's just guys were hurt. That's all. We'll see, though. We'll see. We got to continue this conversation. We're at 1 hour and 32 minutes.
Yeah, we got to let it go.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate
y'all.
it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out with us. But as of now, the shop is closed. Still got people paying attention. Thank you, guys. We will be back next week for more conversations. Bye-bye.